Hi everybody, welcome back to Rational Code. In this video, we are going to be learning how a simple Java program works and how to print text to the console. So let's get started. If you followed our last video, then we learned how to create a new project in IntelliJ, and you might have left off kind of confused about what this does because we didn't talk about it, and this might look a little bit scary to some people, but it's nothing to be afraid of, so let's take a look at it. This right here, package com.company, is just basically something unique to IntelliJ. It doesn't really matter about Java, or it doesn't really do anything for our code. It's just sort of organization for the IDE, so don't worry about this. But this right here is called a class, and every single Java program has at least one class, and each class has its own specific name. And in this case, the class name is main. It was named main when we created a new project, and we made it based off the template. So just to show you what I mean right here, when we hit new project, we went and we hit create project from template, it included a class with the main method. And that's what this is right here. This is the main method. And basically the entire program is executed here, and this is the entry point where the program would begin execution. And there's something unique about this too. These have, the main methods have special words called reserved keywords, and in this case they are public, static, and void. We're not going to talk about them now because they're going to come up in future videos, but that's just basically what this is. This runs your code. This is just a comment right here, so this is completely ignored by the compiler when we run the code. It's just saying, write your code down here. So basically when you want to print in Java, you have to use a special method, and that method goes by this. System.out.print. Now, there are two ways to actually print it, and the most common way of printing is using system.out.println, which means a line. So that's the method right here. That's what they're called, methods or functions, and this function will print to the screen. But we don't have anything to print with in here yet, so we need to include at the end of this parentheses. This still isn't complete yet. Because one, we don't have any text in here, but two, we're missing something at the end here. That's why we have the little red. We need a semicolon, and what the semicolon does is it tells the compiler when the code is running that this is the end of the statement, and we no longer are writing anything on the end, and so go to the next piece of code. So on the inside, we want to print text, and we can't just write something in here. We can't just type in here. We have to actually put our specific text in quotation marks. So in IntelliJ, when you hit the quotation mark button once, it automatically puts the double pair. So inside these quotation marks, we can say something. So let's say, hello world. Say something like this. So this method is going to print out to the screen, hello world. We can hit the green arrow right here and see it for ourselves. As it's running down here, we get hello world right there. So the compiler saw that we're going to print out of the system. We're not taking anything in. We're displaying, read our text right here in quotation marks, and printed it to the screen. And you can do this as many times as you want to. If you copy and paste it, you can do this as many times as you want. Let's do it 5 times. You can run the same thing. And there we go, all on separate lines. Now the second way of printing text to the screen in Java is just using system.out.print without the ln. And basically when we do this, what's going to happen is, because we're not specifying it to be put on a new line, we don't have the ln right there anymore, no new line. When we run the code, it's all going to be jammed onto one space right here. That's because when we had the ln, it would specifically jump to a new line, and we don't have that anymore. We can also, though, include spaces if we wanted to. So we can do system.out.print ln with just a blank spot and no text in there. And this would basically jump to a new line for us. Like we can see right down there. It splits it apart. Let's put that in here, in between every one of these. So we can reasonably assume, though, that it would get very tedious to have to do this every single time, and that's why if we simply put just ln with our text in there, it would simply print all on separate lines. So that's the end of this video. That's basically how to print Java and what a simple project does. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video.